Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Checkpoint Corner. Another week talking about games. I'm your host, Ryan, and joined with me, as always, we've got our co-host, Tyler.
Hello.
And also our co-host, Matherin.
Hello.
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
All right. I'm fine. How are you
Yeah,
doing?
week's going good. Sorry, I need to scoot in a little bit. I realized I'm a little far away. Well,
Not much.
Anything exciting going on this week?
No. Not in terms of gaming, no.
Yeah, in terms of gaming, no, just same old.
Mm-hmm.
I've been busy.
Playing any games recently?
More Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun. Anything on you, Tyler?
I don't think I've played any games all week,
Okay.
except for Divinity.
The listeners are counting on us.
I'm sorry. I have a life outside of gaming.
This is your life now. I expect reports. Well, I've actually played a couple games this week. I played more of Martha is Dead. It's a little slow for my taste. So if you like slow burn games, maybe you'll like it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was worth it.
I
There was one painful part in the game where you have to do a Morse code telegraph to these people.
Anything involving Morse code in games.
And you have to
usually
paint. The
fails.
game
Yeah.
really relies, I guess, on immersion. So you have to, you develop photos in the game and you have to go through the process of developing the photos each time you take a photo of, sticking it or, rinsing it, exposing it, and then rinsing it and stuff, all that stuff. I got my
knocked your
phone.
phone.
I'm so mad I threw it to the ground. Anyways, yeah, the Morse code telegraph part, you have to painstakingly, they'll send you a message in Morse code and you have to decipher it. And then if you want to send a message, you also have to do the Morse code. And if you mess up, you have to restart the word.
Oh, gosh.
That's
But yeah.
frustrating.
Sorry, reaching for my phone. I'll get done with it. I think I'm almost through the last part.
Yeah.
Very good.
And then I also started a PS3 game called Asura's Wrath.
Oh, yeah, I saw you playing that.
It's kind of a silly game. It's kind of imagine like an Eastern God of War. So you go after deities and stuff, but it's not as good as God of War. It's kind of just one big long cutscene, and then you have 10 seconds of gameplay and then another cutscene.
Yeah.
And it's all right. It's a little goofy. There was one boss fight where you can just interrupt him when he's doing his opening monologue, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah. Speaking of God of War, I have put all the God of Wars on. I've downloaded all of them, and I plan to play through all of them.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
In
And
the future,
speaking
I'll be rewarding it.
Speaking of God of War, we got a release date for Ragnarok this week.
Yeah.
And CG trailer dropped, and it's coming out November 9th.
Let's go.
I'm
nice.
pretty excited.
I am very excited, yeah.
Definitely one of my most anticipated games
Yeah.
coming out soon.
I forgot to mention that I did actually start Wolfenstein.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I started that.
And I assume it's the the reboot
Yeah,
one.
the reboot one. Yeah, I started that, played a little bit of that, and it was pretty fun. And then I started Destroy All Humans, literally just this morning. I forgot about that, though.
Good.
So I have been playing more than just the usual, I guess.
Awesome. Yeah, that first Wolfenstein game's pretty. It's pretty fun. It's like Doom, but with more of a story.
Yeah.
But I prefer Doom. Anyways, with that, I guess, was there anything else you guys saw this week that you might want to talk about? Or should we just move on to our topic?
I'm ready to move on
I
to
didn't
it.
see anything.
I feel like there was some stuff, but oh well. Not
Nothing
important
that
for
I
me to
care
remember.
about.
So yeah, this topic, I guess I should mention this at the top. Our topic this week, we're going to be talking about remakes. Or not remakes, we're going to be talking about games that we think should be remade.
Yeah.
This is kind of a fun topic for me. There's a lot of games. Most of mine are games that I want to experience, but I don't really want to play just because the limitations of the time, and they're kind of closed off now because they're so far away and they're kind of janky. So I just want them to be a little polished and remade, not remastered, because that's just kind of porting it over with an updated resolution, and the graphics are a little better.
Yeah.
I want built from the ground up remakes.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll start off this list. So I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of the Fallout series, but I would probably be a little surprised if Fallout 1 and 2 got remade.
I actually have those on my
Yeah.
list.
Yeah, because they're so old.
and
they look so
top
old.
down.
Yeah, they're kind of top down. And I think I've heard they're pretty good, and I don't want to like take away from if the gameplay is good, but I do wish it was more like the other Fallout games, the newer ones, and just so I want to experience that story, and it'd be cool if they did a remake for that. Fallout 1 and 2. I don't know anything about the games really, besides they're very different from what Fallout turned into.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to experience the stories of those games.
Yeah, that could be really interesting.
Yeah,
There's a lot of-
I would love to or go and play them.
Yeah.
But they're like not on Xbox Game Pass, and
Weren't they coming there?
On the PC you can get them.
oh,
Okay.
But
Because they're not on consoles, they're just PC games.
oh, gotcha. Yeah, and they're so different from what Fallout is now. It looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the first one on my list. What's on yours, Tyler?
Well, I know we said remakes, but my first one doesn't need a remake; it's more of a remaster.
Okay.
But I would like Symphony of the Night to be remastered. I think that could be cool.
Yeah.
Just like it's fine now, but like if you play it on Xbox, it's like a small screen, and you have to go into settings and like expand it to the big screen, and
Yeah.
just like adding like modern
Effects.
modern effects and UI to
Modern
it.
Metroidvania things too.
Yeah,
as well.
the UI is definitely. Then the menus are definitely pretty ugly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like just a blue screen with a.
You can change the color.
Can you?
I think so.
No, a remaster of that game would really revitalize it, I feel like.
Yeah, maybe it'd get more hype for the Castlevania series, and we can get
Yeah.
sequels.
I have a lot of Konami games on here but who knows what they're gonna do?
Mhm.
Nothing.
So yeah, remaster of Symphony of the Night
Yeah.
would be very cool.
Symphony of the Night. I've thought about putting the Castlevania games on here, but I don't think they need to update the graphics, because Super Castlevania 4, I don't think needs a remaster or remake or anything, because I like those graphics. Like it's kind of like Super Mario World. If they remade it and made it like the 3D models and stuff, it would lose a lot of charm for me, because
Yeah.
I like that pixelated look, and I know you're not talking about the graphics really, like making it like look like bloodstained
No, yeah.
but yeah, I could see it getting like a remaster maybe.
Yeah, like just like better
That'd be
UI
cool.
and like better like comfortability with the controllers nowadays, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Or just make a full-on remake.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
that.
Either one could work.
What's on your list, Mathurin?
First one on my list is Worms Ultimate Mayhem. I feel like just the Worms series as a whole, it really just needs something to spice it up. And they were going the right direction with that, except it was a little bit wonky in some areas. So I feel like a remake for that one 3D Worms game could be just so much fun. Like, if they really fleshed out all the ideas that they had going for it, especially, like, that could be such a good game.
Yeah,
It has the potential.
Yeah, I am somebody that prefers the 3D Worms games over
Yeah.
the 2Ds, even though that's kind of what their thing is now, is the 2D Worms games. I don't know. Something about the 3D environment. Maybe it's just because it was different.
Yeah.
Like I know it was kind of, well, yeah, it was different, and I guess I prefer that.
Yeah.
Well, in the 3D games, it's more dynamic, and I think it had a lot to do. Like you could walk around a lot more.
Yeah.
Like in the 2Ds, your guy would just be stuck in one spot sometimes. He'd just be trapped, and for the most part, all you could do is just like do aerials and homing missiles. And
Yeah.
then once you run out of that stuff, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. There's just, I don't know. Just adding that 3D space really just it would just revitalize it. Like I know I've said before, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It would just be like a really fresh take to it.
I agree.
That'd be fun to see.
It would
Make
be
it. It's
fun.
like the Destroy All Humans remake. you know?
Yeah.
Just bring back a Goofy something.
Yeah. Goofy title.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you got now?
So in similar fashion to Fallout 1 and 2, I have the Elder Scrolls Arena and Daggerfall, the
Oh,
first
yeah,
and
yeah.
second games of the Elder Scrolls franchise. Always
Mhm.
they're only on the PC and they look very dated.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be cool to, just remake those from the ground up. Maybe maybe they should do like the Resident Evil thing now, where they kind of release a main like the sequel game, then they do a remake, then they do the sequel game. They should do that with the Elder Scrolls series.
Yeah.
Because Morrowind is pretty janky in my opinion. It would be cool if that got a remake.
Yeah, definitely.
Oblivion, sure, that can get a remake too.
I actually just added that to my list.
and so yeah, the Elder Scrolls games, like I love the Elder Scrolls games, but they're so like dated now that it's kind of hard for me to jump into them. And I would love to experience like a new Elder Scrolls game for myself, but with updated and modern like controls and graphics and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like I feel like a big limitation with older games too is that they're just so like inaccessible in some areas. Not just through like the fact of you actually accessing them, because we have computers now. Like that's not too bad. It's just the games themselves are just so like degraded and just it's going to be a pain to get through sometimes. But you see the developers like their image of the game and what they wanted to do with certain concepts, but they're limited by their time.
Yeah.
And stuff. So and those ones especially, having those be revived in a remake would, that would be really cool, honestly.
Yeah, I would love to go and revisit older Elder Scrolls. I would love to stroll down memory lane.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls.
And yeah, but I don't know. Because the limitation of their time, I don't really want to.
Yeah.
Call me a chronological snap.
I do plan on playing them. I don't know. Is Elder Scrolls Arena and Daggerfall on Game Pass on PC?
I don't know. I don't check PC.
Because if Fallout is on it, maybe I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But what's the next one on your list, Tyler?
The next one on my list is Fable 1
okay.
and maybe 2. I didn't play 2, so I don't know what restrictions they have. But Fable 1, it was like fine, but like the graphics were pretty ugly.
Yeah, I do not like the art direction in that game.
Maybe that's what they were going for, but
It's just an ugly world.
just an ugly, like it's mainly the character designs. Like my character in particular, I don't want to be that ugly.
Yeah.
But and like the combat system was like really simple, but like it kind of got janky when you had like allies fighting with you, and the AI kind of sucked. Like in the arena when you have like your ally, my ally just keeps walking into the saw blades over and over. It's like you're not helping me.
Yeah.
So updated, it's like a whole remake with like updated AIs and updated graphics and art.
Mm-hmm.
And I did see the art style of 2, and it has the same art design, it looks like.
Yeah, I assume the series does. They are coming out with that new Fable game.
Are they? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, it's in development still. They only showed like a title to that it's in development, but
I see.
we'll see what that art direction will look like in that game. But yeah, a remake would be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I don't know, that game, like I like the idea of it, but it is a little janky, and I think could do with an updated mechanics and such.
Mm-hmm.
I never finished the first one. What's the next on your list, Matherin?
Next one on my list is Republic Commando.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just imagining, because it was a really ambitious game for its time, and if they just brought on more like cool squad ideas to that game, which I think we said it, we wanted a sequel for it last time, but just like on a whole-on like remake too, I think could work. Just because mechanically that game was very impressive. And it had a really great story to it too. And I'm not saying that it's like too janky, like mechanically wise.
Yeah, the shooting feels great in that game.
Yeah. Like it's not too bad there, but a remake in that aspect of where you get to flesh out more mechanics, I feel like would just really be great for it.
Yeah, I agree. I actually had it on my list.
Yeah.
That would be cool to see.
Yeah.
I just like remakes.
Yeah.
If we're talking movies, when you hear a remake, you're just kind of like, oh, are you serious? But with games, it's kind of like, oh, a remake, okay. As long as it,
Yeah.
you just get to update a cool game.
Yeah.
The next one on my list, I have a lot of survival horror games on here, so be prepared for that. But I did Resident Evil 1 as a remake. It's been remastered, updated graphics and all that. But I want, they did RE2, RE3. Where's RE1?
Yeah.
That
I
game.
was gonna put that on my list, but I think there's a certain charm to it where it doesn't really need
Yeah,
to
but
be
so you're not getting rid of it with a remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but then like you are kind of replacing it.
That's fine. The Resident Evil 1 isn't good.
I mean, I won't argue that, but like, I don't know.
The tank controls need to go. It has this like it has like the setting of 7, which could be really creepy, but I think I would want it in third person just to keep in line with the other Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe they can do third person and first person mode.
The camera aspect of it was definitely the most unique part, though. And if they're gonna strip that away from the remake, then that would I feel like for just a lot of diehard Resident Evil fans would just kind
I mean they did that for 2 and 3.
of, yeah, but I
I
don't know.
I think the Resident Evil 1 could, let's see this story presented to us in not like a dated way,
Mhm.
And I just think it has the potential to have one of the creepier settings in the Resident Evil games, because Resident Evil 2 is not really scary. Resident Evil 3 is basically action,
Yeah.
like an action game, right? And then the remakes, and then this one's set in like this house. You fight giant spiders, you fight
A big
giant
snake.
snakes, yeah, and there's like creepy daughter lady that's all deformed. Like that'd be cool
yeah.
to see with updated graphics and the potential we have today.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'd love to see that, because the story is pretty creepy, and and let's see the origin story again of this
Yeah.
series.
How do you think they would change the mechanics of that game, though? Because obviously, if they were to get rid of tank controls and the fixed camera and stuff, there's so many narrow hallways and stuff.
Yeah, see, that's why third person might be a little hard, but
Yeah.
if you were to do first person, it would I mean, you're basically playing Resident Evil 7,
Yeah.
but I don't know, I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, could be. Definitely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could also be very difficult.
I
and
think-
that's why they haven't done it.
I feel like there's a mod, maybe someone made it so you can play Resident Evil 1 in third person or something, or maybe I'm just pulling that out of my ass. I feel like I
Sounds
heard
weird.
something about that. But yeah, Resident Evil 1 I think would be great for a remake.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Next one on my list. I'm assuming we want to move on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know we're getting one of the games remade, but I'd like the entire Pac-Man world
Yeah.
remade, even the third one.
I don't know. See, I haven't played the second one in a while. I feel like a lot of platformers you don't need to remake unless it's the graphics, but I don't know. I haven't even played the first. I haven't played the first one, so I don't really know if that even needed a remake.
Yeah, but we got Spyro's trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
We got Crash Bandicoot's trilogy.
Yeah.
Why not Pac-Man?
Yeah, they should have. That would be interesting to just remake that trilogy.
That entire trilogy.
Yeah, and they could throw Banjo and Kazooie in there too to remake their games.
Yeah, why not? It's just they did it with Spyro. It's not like that I need it, but it's they did Spyro, they did
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot. Why just make the first one?
Yeah.
Unless they're doing something crazy with it where they can't fit out into games.
It's on the Switch. So.
Uh,
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
yeah.
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 Yeah. Wait, yeah, actually, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
The whole series in a trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Could be interesting. Could be fun.
Isn't
Indeed.
it? Anything else you want to say about that?
That's pretty much it. I guess why not?
Yeah, why not? Why don't they remake every game in existence?
I know, yeah.
What's the next one on your list?
The next one on my list is Star Wars Episode 3, that one fighting game
Yeah.
from the Xbox. I think the concept of a Star Wars fighting game is just they just go hand in hand, and yet there are almost no games like that.
Mhm.
Sure, you have games where they fight in it, but they're not straight up fighting games with Star Wars characters.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few. There's that one Jedi Academy game, I think,
Mhm.
way back when. That you could argue that could also deserve a remake.
Yeah,
But
that wouldn't
could
be
you
bad. Remake.
imagine it could be side by side or just 3D battling people with lightsabers.
Yeah, and the combat's pretty good in that game.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
flesh it out.
yeah. Flesh it out, make it a more of a competent modern fighting game,
Yeah.
it could work so well.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
With all like the different variety that they have in Star Wars games these days too, I feel like it's something they should go for.
Yeah, they.
They, the big they.
Yeah.
Just there's all those companies that have the rights to Star Wars.
Hmm.
So yeah, seeing that fleshed out would be really fun.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the characters that don't look like their eyes are always squinting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The next one on my list is the Fatal Frame series.
Oh, who would have
So
guessed?
this is one. So Fatal Frame is.
Sorry.
Excuse me. Are you recording me? Fatal Frame is one of those. I think so. Fatal Frame is fixed cameras, and I hate that. But Fatal Frame does it so much better than the first Resident Evil game.
Really?
They know how to imply things. I made a video on it, but they know how to like imply that something's might be there in that corner, and it makes you really tense. It's way scarier than Silent Hill and Resident Evil. It deserves a remake. I think Nintendo owns it now, and Nintendo doesn't remake anything. They just
Yeah.
port things over.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Unfortunately.
but I'd just love to see. I would probably like it to be in third person, not fixed cameras, and because I just want to kind of see what they could do with the third person game, and then you pull up the camera and it goes to first person, just like in the game, but without the fixed cameras.
Right.
And I would just love to see that game with updated storytelling and just presented in another way, just like all the games on the list. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. And who knows, if they remaster it, maybe I would play it.
not remaster
Sorry,
it, Tyler.
remake. That's what I meant.
Because and I haven't played 2 and 3, but let's bundle them in together. Just release the remake trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to play those.
Why the hell
I would
not?
pre-order those immediately. What's the next one on your list, Tyler?
Next one on my list is
Oh, you're getting a worried look on your face.
is Ocarina of Time.
Oh, I had
okay.
that on my list.
I do have I just have Legend of Zelda games on my list.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, yeah.
I just think like those DS 3D Zelda games, at least I played them on the DS,
Yeah.
were pretty janky, like control wise.
They were. They definitely were.
And I think like especially on the Switch, I think they could do a lot better. And yeah, I guess like a whole remake.
Yeah,
would
I
be
would-
nice.
Because they port the Legend of Zelda games so much. Did Twilight Princess get a port to the Switch?
I think so. Yeah.
Because I know Skyward Sword did,
it might have.
and
then, yeah.
I don't believe they would port Skyward Sword and not Twilight Princess, right?
I feel like I've seen Twilight Princess on the Switch, but I don't remember like a big announcement.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just threw it in to the eShop or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
But they remade Link's Awakening, which I think is the only Legend of Zelda game they remade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have Legend of Zelda games down too. I'd love to like the first one, just remake it because I don't like those games really, but I like Breath of the Wild, and if we can just update those games to be not more like closer to Breath of the Wild, not exactly, but just
Yeah.
I would love that.
And saintly, yeah. Like with my thing, I was thinking about Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I haven't played Majora's Mask, so that's why I didn't put it on there. But
Yeah. That's one that I would highly recommend to get a remake of, because they nailed like the time mechanic on that and everything. And if they're just to get those like janky, weird Zelda controls right, then it would be like a perfect game.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that like outright. Like it would be perfect.
yeah, like if they were to remake these games, they would like bump it up to like not like the same as Breath of the Wild, but they would bump it up to like on level with Breath of the Wild on how good Zelda games can be.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, and I'd probably like it more than Breath of the Wild because it's probably a little more focused.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
yeah, man. I would see. I'm kind of the opposite. I want them to. I would love them to remake just like the older ones. Just go as far back as you remake the second one where it was like that 2D side scroller thing.
I think we
Oh,
just
yeah.
forget about that
No,
one.
remake that one. Let's see that remade. Not obviously it'd be more like the modern Breath of the Wild and Legend of Zelda stuff. But yeah,
Mm.
I would love to see some remakes of the Legend of Zelda games. Maybe that would actually make me play them, because I'm getting tired of porting them over and then slightly like making them HD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool that I can play it on my console, but they're just gonna port it over and then upcharge it over and over again.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like Skyward Sword was like $60 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was
gets
just a port.
frustrating after a while.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, not a lot's changed, and that's the biggest thing with remakes is the change.
Yeah, honestly, if they did remake Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, I probably want to get it because it's going to be $60 on the Nintendo.
Maybe
eShop.
they need to do well, that was just ports. But yeah, like the Super Mario All-Stars thing where they bundle them together, but those were just ports.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good one to have on the Legend of Zelda games, or specifically Ocarina of Time.
Mhm. That's the one I care about.
Yeah, that's the one I'm sure a lot of people care about. What's next on your list, Matherin?
Mine's a bit of a nostalgic game for me.
Tic-tac-toe.
No. It's called Mech Assault.
What the heck?
Okay, I have heard of this.
It's just a mech battling game that's in like third person that was on the Xbox that me and my brother played all the time, and they kind of already have done things like this.
You mean,
You know, with
Titanfall?
Yeah, with Titanfall, but like imagine that with even bigger mechs, and there's no like first person combat.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get to hop out of your.
How big are these mechs? Like
They're
building
like
size?
city size, yeah. They're
Oh
like
my
building
goodness.
size, yeah. It's building size mechs battling each other.
There was
That's all
going
I
to be
need
a
to say, really.
there was going to be a Mech Assault 3, but it was for the Xbox 360 and maybe the Xbox One, but it was canceled.
Oh, that is just unfortunate. But they should really just throw a curveball and do just Mech Assault.
Who
out of
even owns
nowhere.
Mech Assault?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Unfortunately, since they didn't release the third one, they can't do a remastered trilogy.
Why?
Yeah, because they didn't.
Oh,
they,
they
didn't
didn't
release
release
they,
the
didn't
third one.
really- they don't have 3.
Yeah.
Hold on, Mech Assault 5?
Oh,
5.
they just skipped straight to 5.
Mech Assault, Mech Warrior 5.
Yeah.
Maybe Mech Warrior is just like the spiritual successor.
It might be.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be a funny game just to see
Mhm.
released.
Just a curveball.
Yeah, just a total.
You'd be
curveball.
the most excited.
I
about it.
would be. Well, it's like if you guys play that, it's such an original game too.
Yeah.
Like the mechs in it are just so original and like just cool. Like I don't know. It just felt so unique and different from
Mhm.
other like mech games that I have played.
It's got really good reviews.
Yeah. It's
Maybe there is
it's
a
a lot of
fan.
fun.
I think I probably played it when I was younger, but yeah, I don't really remember it.
Yeah.
I guess moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
So this one, it's kind of in the same vein of the Legend of Zelda games, the Metal Gear games. I'd like to see remade. I think a lot of people would, but yeah, I would love to play the stories because the stories are so weird to me, but I'm fascinated by them.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be. I guess because some of the mechanics are a little ganky because they're that's just what happens, and I haven't played them like those old games too much, so I can't. Maybe they are timeless, but. There's just, I would love it if they were just like, here's a remake of the first one. It's just the first one, just to get you start. Like, here it is, and then I could just easily purchase that and play it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have like the Legacy edition or something collection where it has like all of them, and I just don't know where to start. But yeah, the Metal Gear games would be cool.
I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though I don't like 5 very much, but I think
if I got into 5, like if I got over that barrier at the start, I think it could be
Yeah.
fun. But
plus I'd like the Metal Gear games remade that aren't open world. What's the next one on your list, Tyler?
I have the Sly Cooper franchise.
Aw.
I think like the first 3 maybe. Um,
Yeah.
But like I've never played any of the Sly Cooper. Well, I've played Lost in Time or whatever it's called,
Yeah.
or Time Thieves. But like the first Sly Cooper, I think could get a remake and
Yeah, they did have a remastered collection for the PS3, but yeah, that's it.
but a whole remake. I think.
Yeah.
With and just get rid of the turtle. I don't like the turtle.
In this remake for Sly Cooper, we have removed the turtle.
But when I was playing Lost in Time or whatever, the turtle does not shut up. So
Can you mute him?
maybe make it an option in the game to gag him or something.
Oh my goodness. Thieves in
Wow.
Time.
Thieves in Time, yeah.
The Lost in Time.
But I would love to play the first Sly Cooper game.
Yeah.
And
That'd be
go
cool.
back because I just love its art design and its wacky characters. And I loved Sly Cooper and All Stars.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be cool to see.
Thank you for agreeing.
I agree. Do you have any more on your list, Matherin?
I do have one more. Mario 64. It would be in the same vein of Mario Odyssey,
Yeah.
but like just that with all the crazy platforming tricks and stuff that you can do in that game, if they just, and I know people are gonna get angry at me saying this, but if they fix the camera,
Yeah.
then it will be just one of the most fun platformers that you could have there.
I feel like there's so many like diehard Mario 64 fans that if they
Yeah.
remake it and release it, they're gonna be like, now I can't do the double jump twist technique.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like the weird kind of you can kind of like twist the mechanics and do these
Yeah.
crazy jumps and skips and stuff. That when you
Yeah,
remake
yeah.
it and you polish it, it starts to become like, ugh.
Yeah.
But Mario Odyssey, it was still fun, like
Mhm.
platforming. So yeah, I don't like Mario 64, but I'd play a remake of it.
Yeah, I think I just think maybe not. Yeah, like what's it called? Mario 64 is like it's fine as it is, and people love that game. I don't really see a point in remaking it because it's easily accessible.
Yeah.
The only thing that's janky about it is like the camera.
Yeah.
And the controls are a little janky. The jumping.
Sure. And like the thing that people love most about that game, it seems, is the jankiness and like how they can twist the controls and stuff, like you
Yeah.
said, Ryan.
Yeah, which I know adds to the charm of it, but that's something personally I haven't really gotten into, and
And I,
That's understandable.
I think Nintendo's found a really good spot with their 3D Mario games because there was like this earlier ones in the Wii era and stuff that were it was kind of like whatever, but like Mario Odyssey was just such like a breath of fresh air.
It really
Yeah.
And
was.
so cool to see. And then I even had fun with that Mario and Baby Bowser game or whatever.
called Bowser's Fury.
Yeah, yeah, Bowser.
Blah.
Yeah, that's right.
Mario and Baby Bowser. What I was trying to say.
Yeah, and it was just fun to be platform around. So yeah, it'd be cool for a remake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And then throw in Sunshine in there too, remake it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost had that one on my list, but it's another one where it's like it's fine.
Yeah,
So
it doesn't like. Mhm.
it's just like the one thing bad with this, maybe a little bit of the graphics and Toad talking. I think they should remove Toad talking.
You should have an option to gag Toad.
He actually talks.
Yeah, they got like old man Toad. And he's like, "Hey there, Mario."
He
I did not know
voice
that.
acts. That's so weird.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That makes, I guess, like you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, next on my list is this is the only Final Fantasy game I'm kind of interested in, but Final Fantasy VI would be cool to see remade. I played the start of it, and I've heard the story is great, and like the gameplay is great, but I don't know, it's hard for me to like grasp, like really connect with it. I played it through an emulator, and like I kind of do like the pixelated graphics and stuff, and then I bought it on Steam, and they had these horrible updated graphics that were garbage,
Oh, man.
and it was not good. I didn't like it, and
No good.
so I'm not sure, because it is like top down, like the turn-based combat of Final Fantasy, and I would kind of just like to see Final Fantasy VII style remake of it. Just
That would definitely be
overhaul
interesting.
everything, but not make it as like tedious in some parts as like the 7 remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I'd be excited for that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Anything, yeah. I would love to get into the Final Fantasy franchise, but like there's a lot of stuff holding me back, like the turn-based combat
Yeah,
for
and
most of them.
I tried playing
the
like
graphics.
I played 10 on my PS2, and it's that turn-based combat. I think you can. Well, I don't really connect with it a lot, but it just feels a lot dated and really slow.
Yeah,
like-
like you have to do turn-based combat really well, or
Yeah.
like for me, you know,
Mhm.
I have a hard time with turn-based combat
Yeah,
mechanics.
I think Final Fantasy 13 does it okay, and then obviously like the Persona games I think are really good at it. At least Persona 5. I haven't played the other ones, but yeah, turn-based combat is kind of a sore spot for me. But yeah,
Yeah.
what's next on your list?
I don't have one.
Oh,
Oh.
oh,
I'm
quick,
all-
think of one.
I'm all dried out.
Matherin?
I do have one.
Oh,
I want a BioShock remake,
Oh.
not a port like they did already
yeah, with the
first
collection.
two. I want a full-on remake of the first one, but the most biggest thing that I want in the first one is them to like update the sound design in it.
Oh,
you
really?
know? Yeah, just to make some sounds sound more realistic and stuff, just to really capture the atmosphere. You know,
Mhm.
that was my biggest thing, really. Because like the sound design in the second one is really good. The first one is just, I feel like it's just obnoxious at times.
Mhm.
And I know that some of the sounds are iconic. I get that, and I kind of like them that way too. But at the same time, I don't know.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, see, I was gonna put thinking Bioshock, but to me that's just kind of feels like with the Dead Space remake. It's kind of like, is it
Yeah.
really needed? Because like, what could
Yeah.
you, like, I'm excited for the Dead Space remake, and if they announced a Bioshock remake, I'd be pretty excited.
Yeah.
But like, is it really needed? And then they are coming out. Supposedly, they're working on another Bioshock game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that would be really cool, honestly.
yeah, but yeah, a remake, like I'd take it. But yeah, it just feels like, yeah, kind of like I said, that like a Dead Space remake,
Yeah.
or like
yeah.
the Last of Us
So,
remake.
it's still a little bit iffy on my list too.
Uh-huh.
It's not like the most anticipated remake I would ever want. Is that still Worms 4?
Top of the list,
Yeah,
baby.
top of the list. No, that's probably just something else. But you know, it's still something I would like to see maybe in the future, maybe some later time down the line.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe, you know, they could do one of those trilogies.
Bundle them together and send them out. Bioshock, like, back in business.
Oh, that's a good catchphrase.
Yeah, BioShock Infinite definitely does not need a remake though.
Yeah.
That's fine just how it is.
But hey, if they remade it, I'll take it. But so I have a couple more on my list. I guess we'll go through, unless you guys think of any, you can spit them out.
All right.
Okay.
So I put down lots of Fire Emblem games.
Oh yeah.
Because I love the Fire Emblem series, and it's a long-running series, so you get
Yeah.
some dated games.
Mhm.
They remade the second game, Gaiden, with the Echoes, the Shadows of Valentia. And I don't love that game. I think the dungeon crawling aspect didn't work for
I
me.
don't like that either.
But I would love. They've remade a couple. Like, let's see. So the first game's Shadow Dragon.
Oh gosh, it's gonna get really complicated.
The third game is Mystery of the Emblem. Then they remade, the first game's Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light.
Mhm.
This third game is Mystery of the Emblem, which is its sequel. And then they came out with just Shadow Dragon on the DS, which I played through.
And that was a remake.
That was a
of the
remake.
first?
That was a remake of Shadow Dragon.
Wasn't a remake of only half of it though?
I think Mystery of the Emblem was a remake of the first game. Yeah, so Mystery of the Emblem is the remake of so the third game is a remake of Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, but with more stuff. And Shadow Dragon is a remake of the first part of Mystery of the Emblem, which is a remake and a sequel to the
my
first
gosh,
Shadow Dragon.
yeah.
I think
And
they need
then
to scrap all of that.
in Japan, no, this is really interesting. This is fascinating. In Japan, they released new Mystery of the Emblem, which is the remake of the second part of Mystery of the Emblem, which is the remake
And
and the
our viewers
sequel.
are already lost.
Because so I would love to see a remake of the first one, just bundle in the second one too.
Yeah.
And the third one.
But I'd probably mostly like to see 3CS 776 and Genealogy of the Holy War remade, and because those games are interesting to me. I've played whichever one is first, and
Yeah.
I haven't played all the way through. I only played like the first chapter maybe, and they're just so different than the other Fire Emblem games that I'd love to see them remade, but kind of keep those aspects and update them with like the Three Houses stuff, because Three Houses is amazing.
Yeah.
And I'd just love to see more of those games. Supposedly there might be a Blazing Blade remake in the works, maybe.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, I see that the Game Boy games, I'm kind of iffy on getting remade. Like, yeah, of course I'd play them, but I love those pixelated Game Boy graphics so much that I
Yeah.
don't know if I could do like the 3D model. I mean, I could obviously, but I
Well-
would lose a lot for me personally if they went 3D models, because I think they got the combat animations got worse
Yeah.
when they did the 3D models.
Oh, definitely. You could do so much with pixel art, and they did so much.
yeah,
with
it was so cool and flashy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll take Thracia and Genealogy as remakes.
Genealogy was really cool because it was like a full-blown battlefield. Like, it was actually a
Yeah.
war you were a part of.
Yeah, and you had to hold castles and stuff. It was
Mhm.
like the chapters were one giant map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be really interesting to see them remake that and
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah, I'd love to see those Fire Emblem games remade.
Definitely.
Not like Shadows of Valentia, because I didn't like that one very much.
Yeah. I see what they're trying to go for in Shadows of Valentia, though. It just like
Yeah.
it could have been done so much.
Yeah,
better.
they added too many mechanics.
Yeah, like the
that-
stupid fatigue mechanic.
Yeah, that didn't work for me. And like it did kind of introduce, you can build your units to make them anything. Like, I know it wasn't like the first one to introduce, like you can respec units in like
Yeah.
Shadow Dragon.
Yeah.
You can turn them into anything, but but
was a
Shadows
lot
of Valentia
easier.
was like the kind of the first one that really was like, you can pretty much make them anything. Like, they should probably be this, but you should make them you could make them anything if you want them to,
Yeah.
which is really what Fire Emblem should be, and Three Houses did that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
I'd love
agree.
to see those. So I guess moving on to my list, unless you guys thought of any.
No?
Another one on this one is the Persona games, specifically 1 and 2,
Yeah.
because that's kind of like the Fallout games. 1 and 2 are a little different than
Yeah.
3, 4, and 5. And I liked Persona 5 Royal, or Persona 5. I haven't played Royal, and I would like to see those games updated so I can experience their stories, because I heard those stories are good, and I've heard some of them that are probably better than 5, and I would love to see that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But
yeah.
yeah, those games just kind of feel closed off to me, and I'm scared to play them because they're gonna be,
Yeah.
because I heard they're difficult and
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
and they're dated, so
Yeah. It's always another thing. It's just the difficulty with older games.
Mhm.
It's usually much more steep and severe.
Yeah,
But,
Mhm.
you know.
yeah. I do plan on playing 3 and 4 when they come to Game Pass, but yeah, I'd like to see 1 and 2 remade.
Yeah, me too. I probably want to play them, but still.
It'd be cool to just watch it happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else you guys thought of?
Not necessarily.
I have a couple random. Like, it'd be cool to see like an LA Noire remake.
That would be
but
cool.
What's it? I haven't finished that game. I played it a while back, and I'll get back to it eventually. But that game has, the facial animations are so good in that game. What if they remake it? Is that gonna ruin it?
Probably. Or maybe they just like cut out the facial animations.
Well,
From now no, that'd be freaky. Yeah, like these 4K bodies with these PS3 graphic faces.
Oh god. That's so gross. Oh man, there was this one big one that I was really trying to think of, but I just lost it.
Yeah. I was gonna put Knights of the Old Republic on here, but then I remembered it is getting a remake.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I see like the like I was gonna put Metroid on my list, but I'm not really interested in the Metroid games. And like, what do you even need to remake a Metroidvania style game? Like,
I mean, yeah, you can, and
Yeah.
they have been doing that too. With like Samus Returns was a remake of the original Samus Returns.
oh really?
Yeah, yeah,
Fascinating.
yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna put Megan Man.
Megan, man.
Mega Man.
Mega Man, but then I realized I don't really care about him. I've never played one of his
Yeah, like-
games, and does it need it?
Yeah, like I just like those pixelated like Super Mario World, and like even like the Sonic game. I don't play the Sonic games, but like if the Sonic games were remade, how do you remake
Yeah.
a pixel? Like the Sonic games look so fluid, like those older games look so fluid and fast anyways, and so
Uh-huh.
like snappy. Do you even need to remake it? Like, there's some games that are just so timeless. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't played the Sonic games, but I imagine those Sonic games and Super Mario World is definitely timeless for me.
Absolutely.
And I just don't think those games really need remakes.
Yeah.
Like I love the Castlevania games, but I wouldn't say 1, 2, and 3 need remakes. Yeah, like 1's pretty frustrating with the dated mechanics and stuff, but what are they gonna remake to really make it better?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like unless they just completely remake it and make it similar to like Symphony of the Night, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
The ones that they're remaking today with like Knights of the Old Republic, though, like what would you want to expect out of those?
Well, I'm glad. I hope we're not gonna get into this thing where they just start remaking, just like really popular games. Like if
Yeah.
like with the Last of Us remake, that's not needed.
No, not at
Yeah.
all.
And and like if they were to announce like a Bloodborne game like remake, I'm not asking for that. Like
Yeah.
who wants that?
Yeah.
Like that just kind of feels like it's not like Dead Space isn't really needed. I'm still
Yeah.
gonna play Dead Space, but
I would
it's
much rather they just go into left field and just remake some niche game that no one's ever heard of,
Yeah,
but like has one interesting thing about it, and they just keep expanding on that. Like I'm already just reiterating what I already said before, you know. But that's
Mhm.
just something I want them to do, and it's kind of disheartening to see them not do that as much anymore with remakes. They just kind of remake a game that they made. I could have done that better 2 years ago or something. It's like, really?
yeah. Like like the Knights of the Old Republic game, I think the combat's pretty janky and stuff, and so
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this remake if
Yeah, I
they
think
do
that
it
one
well.
was needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very excited for that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And like see if they remade like the God of War games. I want it.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry, I'd probably be a little more excited for if they remade that,
Yeah.
because I think it's a little older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What I really appreciate about
I think it
remakes, though, is that what they can do is they can reach into an older game story and pull it out of this like muck pit of just like terrible janky controls or whatever and mechanics that it has in it, and you get to experience this story that's only a few people have experienced before.
Yeah,
Like-
a remake should make the game the best version of itself.
Yeah.
But like mostly because games don't do that because of the limitations. So
Mhm.
remakes that's like 2 years ago. We already have that technology. Or like
Yeah.
most of it's like all you can do is like upgrade the graphics a little bit.
Yeah.
And I know in like the Last of Us remake that they are adding to the story a little bit more. Like they're adding certain scenes, I think.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
really?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
They probably are. Probably little things.
Yeah.
You see, I like my remakes when a game, like, did I even say that Silent Hill? I think I skipped over it. But no, so like the Silent Hill games, that's one I want to be remade
Yeah.
because they're such the concept is so cool. The stories are so good in 1 and 2. Three's all right, and just I want to experience those stories, but not be like hindered by the gameplay of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I want to play those games where I don't have to worry about fighting the controls. I can just focus on the game, and remakes allow that. Good
Absolutely.
remakes when they focus on that.
It needs to be brought into the modern era.
And I definitely prefer games from built from the ground up, like the remastered games. So like I have the I played Silent Hill 1 on the PS2 because I had the PS1 version, and then I got the Silent Hill collection, which has 2 and 3. It doesn't have 1 for some reason, and they remastered those games, and they look worse because they get rid of the fog, not all of the fog, but so you can kind of see more of the cracks in the detail and stuff because they were too confident with the graphics, I guess. But yeah, so just bad remasters like that, I'm not a fan of. But yeah, I definitely prefer when a game is we're building this from the ground up and telling the story again, but with newer technology and newer, just newer resources.
Yeah, because then you just like pull from modern technology, whereas remasters like they have to build off of the foundations of an older game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else guys want to talk about remakes? Any other remakes you just want to quickly throw in there?
There's like not a whole lot I can think of. Like,
What if they remade the Lego games?
I don't know. Those games are timeless.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Um,
I'd say that in terms of remakes though, there's been so much this past like decade, with Battlefront has always been a remake that I've wanted as a kid, even when I didn't even know like what a good remake should be. That's something I wanted remade, and then they remade it, and
Yeah.
which had a rough release, but
Yeah. I wonder, is that Battlefront even a remake, or is it just kind of like a reboot?
I think it's a reboot.
it's more of a reboot
Because they're not like, well, we'll take, because they didn't really take any mechanics from that except from like the core, like
yeah.
pick a trooper and fight the
I
enemy.
mean,
Yeah, the second Battlefront I think is more of a remake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Than
Yeah.
anything.
I mean, it's just like, it's just like the same genre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if they remade the earlier Arkham games?
Nah, I'm fine with them. Maybe like, I wonder what like 30 years from now what people are gonna say they want remade. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
We're back. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties. We're very unprofessional, but we're back. So where was it? Like I was saying, yeah, 30 years from now it'll be interesting to see like where they take what games people want to see remade.
Yeah.
It would just be interesting to see those mechanics. But yeah, I think like the Arkham games, they already bundled them, and
Yeah.
they've kind of remastered them, which I need to get because I want to replay those Arkham games.
too.
But yeah, and if we're all done with remakes, we can start wrapping up the show.
Yeah. All right.
Wrap it up into a juicy burrito.
So yeah, we're gonna leave you guys with our juicy burrito recommendation for you to play this week, and I think it's my turn this week.
I do believe it is.
Am I correct?
Yeah, it's your. I'm passing the burrito to you.
I didn't really think of this, but I'm gonna. I guess I should think of a remake for the
Remake episode. Yeah.
for the theme.
Yeah.
So
The
excited.
Dead Space
I'm just
game.
gonna recommend Super Mario World on
Oh
the
my God,
SNES.
alright.
Not a bad
It's
game.
one of the best games to ever
I
exist.
think it's one of the best games to ever exist. in
It's
general.
completely timeless. It's the most timeless game you'll ever play. It doesn't need a remake.
And that's not nostalgia speaking.
You thought I was going to recommend a remake, but I recommended a game that doesn't need a remake. The
Yeah.
only game that will never get a remake and never should get a remake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Super Mario World's great to play. I don't know if it's on the Switch or not.
I think it is if you have like
Oh,
the NES
yeah.
bundle or whatever.
Well, it's a great game, and it's really fun.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, with that, we'll end out the episode.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you guys for being here every week.
Every week.
I don't want to get emotional, but yeah, if the listeners have any remakes you want to send them in, we got an email, checkpointcornerpod@gmail.com. We'll be back next week for another episode, same time.
Yep.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
See you then.
Bye.